Never trust an empath. Listen to this quote before you get triggered and get mad. Honestly, if you are triggered, if you want to defend empaths, please defend them in the comment section. I am one of these people. All psychics are con artists to me. All empaths are con artists to me. I don't believe in any of it. I feel like either you're naive or you're a con artist. And a lot of them, especially anybody who's charging money, you're a con artist to me. I don't believe in any of it, okay? But if you want to defend yourself, go off in the comments. I'm done. I'm like, my thumbnail might trigger some folks. My thumbnail might make people feel upset. But at the same time, I gotta say, that's just how I feel. That's real talk, okay? And listen, this is what Johnathan Walton is this man. First of all, he has a blog. I might link his blog down below. His blog is wild, okay? His blog has everything they couldn't air on television, all right? If you Google Marianne Smyth, who is the con artist in this week's episode of The Con, wild stuff comes up because it's his blog and he's like archiving all the wild she's done to people, okay? Anyway, so Johnathan Walton, he's the guy who got conned, and he got conned out a lot of money. We'll get to that. He got conned, and this is what he had to say about Mare and his experience being conned. Con artists don't outsmart you. They outfeel you. They prey on your emotions. Okay? I got a whole page, 2 pages of notes, 2.5 pages of notes. So let's jump straight into it. So Johnathan Walton got conned by this woman named Marianne Smyth. Now, I'm not sure how you spell Mare. It's like a nickname, I guess short for her real name, which we'll find out later. I'm not going to spoil it. This is what I put in the beginning of the episode. At the very top, it says Irish heiress ? Because this is what she's like, a middle-aged Anna Delvey. She pretends to be a wealthy, to-do heiress. And it's just like, how do you... this is like one of the oldest cons in the book. Isn't it? That's why I say this episode is not as exciting as last week's episode. Because it's like the most classic con artist stuff happens in this episode. She's emotionally manipulative. She becomes best friends with everybody. She pretends like she's super connected. She pretends like she's a fake royalty. You know, like it's like a stereotype. The Nigerian prince. Hi, I'm a Nigerian prince. If you send me $50,000, I will pay you back when I get my inheritance and pay off my legal fees. I'll pay you back $1 million. You see what I'm saying? That's literally what she does in here, except she pretends to be Irish. This woman named Marianne Smyth, she is as American as apple pie, bitch. And guess what? She pretends to be Irish. She does an accent and everything. Imagine how crazy you have to be. Because Anna Delvey, I said she's a middle-aged Anna Delvey, but Anna Delvey really was German. So when she had this accent, she was like, oh yeah, Americans don't know. They don't know nothing. I'm going to come across here with my European accent, and I'm going to be like, oh yes, I'm German, and I'm fancy, la la la. That's not German accent, I know, but I can't do a German accent. I just came from Lidl and heard some women speaking German, but I can't do it, sis. But she at least had an accent. This woman, she might be a little bit of a sociopath as well, but it's just, she's such a classic con artist. It's like her motives are so clear. It's not, I don't get anything out of diagnosing her. You know what I'm saying? Like this week's episode isn't as exciting. She pretends to be an heiress and does an accent all the time. And this is what people accused, what's her name? Oh, you know, Elizabeth Holmes. They accused Elizabeth Holmes of faking her voice all the time. Imagine how crazy you have to be. Every time you talk to someone, you have to go, oh, yes, this is my real voice. I'm doing my real voice right now. This is how I always speak. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? This is how I sound. You know, like, what a weirdo. You're scary. That's scary. She just wanted to live a different life. And he compared her to an actress, which I think is interesting. And so Johnathan Walton, this is how she emotionally manipulated Johnathan. So she meets him. He's a gay man. He's married to another man. And he's one of these gay folks from, I guess, more of a conservative family. It's very unfortunate. He feels like he's been rejected and disowned by his own family. So she manipulates him by saying the same thing. Oh, I'm an heiress, and my family, my royal family, they did the same thing to me, don't you know? And that they disowned me. They don't want to have anything to do with me, love. We're both just lost sheep, aren't we? You know. Anyway, that's. You have to subscribe for that accent. Come on now. I'm serving the girls. The campiest accent. That was fun. Stop. Let me hurry up. She had a fake $5 million inheritance. She's like, has this whole thing where she gets arrested, and she's like, oh, I have so many legal fees, love. I can't get my inheritance. If you help me pay my legal fees, I'll pay you back for my €5 million inheritance. And 5 million euros is like 6 point something million dollars, US dollars. So he's all in. She was like a sister to me. I loved her. I cared about her. I wanted to help her. I believed her. So this is also a classic con artist thing. So when he pays her initial bond to get out of jail, which is like $4,200, she pays it back. That's a classic con artist thing. So I borrow a large sum of money, a couple foul, but I pay it back quickly. So when I ask you for $10,000, you know I'm good for it, right? No, sis. Let's move on. So after the reason she gets arrested, and I'm going to have to jump forward in the story a little bit. She gets arrested because she stole $200,000 from her travel agency. She stole $200,000. This is how she did it. Because I'm like, first of all, let's just go over the fact. I literally wrote down, she's a travel agent in 2016? Those still exist? I was like, I did not know that still exists. I like, just go on Expedia. What the hell? I'm sorry. And then shout out to the travel agents, I guess. She worked for a travel agency, and she was having people pay this PayPal account. So she was like double charging people for their trip. So it's like, if your trip cost $6,000, she would charge you like $7,500. And then she would say, okay, pay this $1,500 fee to this PayPal. That's the first section, and your second payment is going to be $6,000 to the actual travel agency for your trip. So she was basically like embezzling money that way. So she stole $200,000 that way. I'm like, good Lord. And the boss finds out because someone calls and is like, did you get my payment? Because I sent you the payment to your PayPal and I haven't gotten a confirmation yet. And the boss is like, we don't use PayPal. That's a red flag. They literally addressed it with her. She literally just packed her box and left. Like, she didn't even say anything or try to explain anything. She just left. As soon as she gets called out, she just walks out. Because she does the same thing later to her ex-boyfriend, Bob. Okay, so after she gets fired, she becomes, you guessed it, a psychic, an empath. So she says she's an empath. And this is what really got me, okay? So and go back to that con artist, outfeel you, they prey on your emotions. So she has this black woman as a client. She has several clients, but she has this black woman in particular as a client. And she works with this woman so much that this woman brings family members, friends, refers lots of people to this woman. When she goes to jail and Johnathan has boxes of her stuff at his house because I guess she got evicted or something of that nature. He has boxes of her stuff. He goes through the stuff and he finds this black woman's fake credit cards in this black woman's name. Her social security number is written down. Her bank accounts are written down. Then she has a fake GoFundMe, okay? She has a fake GoFundMe. It's a real GoFundMe. But she says she's going to use the GoFundMe money to donate it to a foundation about cystic fibrosis. Girl, because this is where stuff gets deep. This is where shit hits the fan emotionally. Because I'm like, oh, she's sick. Okay? She's sick. She's cold-hearted, okay? Because, so she has this GoFundMe that's supposed to be donating to cystic fibrosis. Why? Because she has what I thought was a fake daughter that died of cystic fibrosis. We get to the end of the episode, and this is spoilers. It's labeled as spoilers. We find out that she was married to this man. When she was married to him, her name was Marianne Welch. Her real name is Marianne. That's why her name is Mare. Call me Mare, darling. They had a real daughter together. And I forget, what is the daughter's name? Courtney or something like that. I think the daughter's name is Courtney. And the daughter really was a real person who really died of cystic fibrosis. So you're saying, did she donate the money? Not only did she not donate the money, her ex-husband says that when he was really hurt by the GoFundMe, because when she married him and had this baby, once they settled down and they were like living together and they were raising their newborn, she like checked out. She's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. She leaves him and the baby, okay? The baby, the young girl suffers with cystic fibrosis her whole life till she passes away at age 23. And she leaves him, I mean, when the girl is little, never sends a card, never makes a phone call, has nothing to do with her daughter. But she Googles the photo. This is the cold, sick, cold-hearted part. She Googles the photo. She looks up, I wonder what my former family is doing. She uses the real photo of her real dead daughter that she didn't help raise to con people out of money that she lies and says is going to a cystic fibrosis foundation. It's all too much. It's all too much. She is sick, and that was kind of like a sucker punch to the gut. When you get to that part of the episode, I was like, she's sick. She's sick. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong. Like, I was really shook. I really was shocked. And it's just heartbreaking because the guy sits down and he's talking to the people about this. And he's like, I had to raise as a single father my daughter who was sick with cystic fibrosis for years. And when I saw that picture, it really broke my heart. I was like, girl, she's nasty. She's a horrible person. What a horrible person. So she's a thief. She's a con artist. And that's The Con on ABC. I think there's some details I didn't go over. She had a boyfriend named Bob. She tried to con Bob into putting his name down on a $12 million house. Luckily, Bob's ex-wife has more common sense than he does and Google schmoogled her and found out that she's a con artist. Thanks to John Walton's crazy blog, which I will link below. That's all. Bye-bye.